Well, hello everybody, and welcome to this webinar on the Newcastle University MBA. I'm delighted that you could all join us today. My name's Dr. Lucy Hatt. I'm the MBA Degree Programme Director, and I'm delighted to be joined today by Mariam Nauman, who looks after the recruitment for the programme, and three of our course representatives for this year, so people that are currently on the programme. So I've got Midhat, Kirti and Shubham, who are here to give you some of their perspectives and answer any questions that you might have. So if, as we go along and you have any questions, then please put them in the chat, or you can just wait till the end and we'll answer them then. But hopefully this will be an enjoyable, relaxed occasion where you can really find out a bit more about the Newcastle MBA programme. So I have some slides and I will just tell you what we're going to do today. So I've told you who's in the room. You can see from the other participants who else is joining you in terms of offer holders and prospective applicants as well. I'm going to tell you a bit more about the Newcastle University MBA programme and link what we do to the latest trends and insights in the future of work and business. I'm going to ask some questions of our current learners just to help them explain what their experience has been so that you can hear firsthand from what current students are thinking, and then any questions and answers that you have. So to just ease us in gently, I thought I'd make sure that we all knew what we were talking about. So on the screen, you can see the Newcastle University MBA programme. So this is for next year. So the current students aren't doing quite exactly this, so don't be worried. But it will be looking like this in 26-27. So if you've got a place for September or you're thinking of applying for September, this is the program that you will be doing. So you start off in September with phase 1 of the program, developing your core skills. So this is a general MBA that will teach you the foundations of business management. We have 5 modules in the first semester: financial management, strategic management, organizations, leadership and people management, marketing management, and operations and supply chain management. So whatever your expertise and experience is in, there will be things that you're familiar with, things that you're less familiar with, and you'll be in a cohort of people who may be familiar with the same things, maybe be familiar with different things, but you'll be there to help each other learn. And by the end of the first semester, you'll all have a really good foundation in those key management functions. We end the first semester with the business in action module. So that's a business experience week, which sort of you have a little bit before Christmas, a little bit after Christmas. And that really enables you to apply some of what you've learned in practice and really get out and about and meet lots of regional businesses in the northeast of England and find out how it is in real life in those industries, in those management functions. Then you move into phase 2 of the program, which is about preparing you for global business. So you've got 3 modules there. We've got CSR and the challenge of ethical business, entrepreneurship and innovation, and business analysis for decision making, which is where the boardroom challenge sits. In the CSR and challenge of ethical business, we have lots of sustainability challenges and a mini conference in there. Entrepreneurship and innovation this year involved a trip to look at the entrepreneurial ecosystem in a part of London, and the business analysis for the decision-making module, which was just started, but not really in earnest until May, will include a boardroom challenge, so a live challenge to a real board. Around springtime, there's a personal development event, which is an intensive 4-day event where you're put through a series of assessment type exercises, and you're watched by some external consultants. You get one-to-one feedback on your leadership, on your influence of others, your interpersonal skills, how you came over, what your strengths are, where your development areas might be, and a hugely valuable experience. Very rare to get independent, agenda-free feedback on your leadership performance. Then you get to choose 2 electives, one from group 1, one from group 2. So you can see group 1 is digital and data-driven marketing, or finance and investment, or transitions in the global political economy. And group 2 is emerging economies, challenging opportunities, digital transformation, and leading organizational change. So at that point in the program, you get an opportunity to specialize a little bit. We don't dictate the combinations that are possible. You just have to choose one from group 1 or group 2, one from group 1 and one from group 2. So you have a free choice beyond that. So, for example, if you're interested in artificial intelligence or data analytics, for example, you could choose digital and data-driven marketing and digital transformation. And then you move on to the final phase of the program, phase 3, which is all about putting it into practice and making an impact. And you have the management consultancy project, which is a group-based module where you're doing a live consultancy project with a real client in groups. And then you finish off with the individual project, 40 credit module. We have a choice of 4 options: a local consultancy project, a global consultancy project, a more traditional research project, which doesn't involve a client, or a business or venture creation plan if you are looking at starting a new business or want to test an idea out. And then along the side, you can see you've got personal and professional transformation module, which runs the duration of the program, which gives you academic skills, critical thinking skills. It's where we put a lot of the careers support and other sort of additional help and support that you need to develop personally and professionally. And also the MBA integration and consolidation module, which is not credit bearing, but enables us to take advantage of opportunities that arise with guest speakers and other exciting business interactions. So that's the whole program. It's a very intense year. But it's absolutely transformational. So that the people who are on the call today, who are on the program, are maybe, what shall I say, 2/3 of the way through. So that they haven't finished the whole program, but they will be able to talk about their experiences to date. So if I'll just move on to think about some of the the links to industry that the program offers. So all the way through each of these modules, we're thinking about how technology and digital transformation that the world is undergoing at the moment is reshaping business operations and strategy. So that's focused on particularly in some modules, but it's present and integrated across all modules. We're also encouraging you to think about what's happening in the workforce. So that's from a perspective as a manager and a leader, but also as an employee or a consultant, thinking about what's happening in the workforce, what's changing. So artificial intelligence, hybrid working, diversity, inclusion, different initiatives in different parts of the world, different political pressures. And then lastly, to think about sustainability and what's happening with some of the most wicked problems that the world's facing today. So what's the impact of sustainability initiatives and the transition to net zero on organizations in the world? Is it possible to run a profit and also meet the global, the United Nations sustainability goals? How do you balance those shareholder perspectives with what what our climate is talking about and the other sustainability goals from the United Nations? So thinking all the way through about really relating the theory to real life practice in organizations today. And then finally, thinking about all the changes that are going on and how uncertain everything is, and how you ride that wave of uncertainty as a manager, as a leader in an organization with so much complexity, uncertainty, volatility, and ambiguity. So to look at the program in another way, this is a sort of route map, and it's very much a journey. So it's not just a collection of modules, it's a transformational journey. So we start working with you before the program. You'd be speaking to Kian, who's our MBA careers consultant, who would be understanding where you've come from, what experience you've got, and where you're looking to end up after you've finished the MBA. We'd be thinking about what sort of mentor might be appropriate for you, and connecting you to current students and alumni of the program to get their perspective on whether the Newcastle University MBA program is the right one for you, because it is about fit at the end of the day. Then you move into the induction. We spend a lot of time and effort on the induction because it's only a year, it goes very quickly, and we need you to hit the ground running. So we need you to form a cohesive cohort where you all know each other, you can work with your respective strengths and development areas, and you feel supported and safe to learn and relax and really get the most out of the program. So we have an intensive 4-day induction when you first start in the first week. We're also quite proud. I think we're the only MBA program at the moment that has a shadow trustee opportunity. It was our idea. And this is where you get an opportunity to sit on the board of trustees of an organization as a shadow trustee and really get into understanding the business there. So that's a competitive opportunity. You'd have to apply for that. It's not necessarily available to everybody, but a huge opportunity to integrate yourself with the business community in this part of the world in the UK, and make some valuable business network connections, as well as understand, a different organization. I've explained the sort of things that you'll be doing in semester 1, so I won't go through those again, but I've mentioned the business in action networking opportunity in the experience week. And up in the top right corner, you can see those 4 overlapping circles, which we're looking at all the time to help you really get clearer about what you love doing, where your passions lie, what motivates you to get out of bed in the morning, what you're good at, where your strengths lie, where your development areas lie, what you find easy, what you find difficult, what pays, where the jobs are, where you can make money, and what the world needs. So where you can make a contribution, where you can be a good citizen, and finding that part in the middle where you can really deliver your purpose in the short, medium, and long term. So just following the road round, I've mentioned the London trip on the entrepreneurship module. I can't guarantee that will run every year, but it definitely ran this year, and was really interesting and successful. Also a pitch panel, which our students have just done, I think last week, so they can tell you a bit more about that. We have a speed networking event on Thursday for the individuals that are looking to secure a local consultancy project as part of their individual project. So we're matching you with businesses there. And then the personal development week, which was that intensive 4-day event where you're put through assessment type exercises and given one-to-one feedback. We have an international learning expedition at the end of the spring break this year. We're going to Berlin for 4 days. So that's entirely paid for apart from the travel. You have to pay for your travel to get there and back, and obviously secure the relevant visas that you might need to get to wherever we're going. But once you've got there, we completely curate a full schedule of business experiences for you in a different European city. There's a corporate social responsibility mini conference I mentioned, which is part of that module that you do in phase 2 of the program, the boardroom challenge I've mentioned. And then also another benefit of the program is the European Summer School, which again is a competitive opportunity part of the management consultancy pathway, where you go to Glasgow for 2 weeks. 1 week is taught modules. The second week is a consultancy project, but with MBA students from other universities, I think Loughborough and Australian University. So you get to network with a different group of people again. And then you hand in your final project in the end of August and graduate in December. So that is another way of seeing the program journey for you. So what I'd like to find out from you now is to do a bit of a VVox poll. What country you're joining from, that would be really useful to know. Your industry sector, your main reason for wanting to do an MBA, what you're looking to achieve after the MBA, and what you most want to find out from today. So that's the question that I'm really curious about. And if you've got any concerns, that would be good to know. So keep those questions in mind. But while you're answering those questions, I'm going to start asking some questions of our current students. We're going to get you some exposure to some first-hand learner experiences. So if I can start with you, Midhat, first, what attracted you to the Newcastle MBA in the first place, and what has most lived up to your expectations since joining the program?
Okay, so hi everyone. I talked to some of the cohort over here before this. So I think one of the biggest thing that for me was, of course, the cost of the whole program itself and the cost of living over here as well. Because as an international student, it's a little difficult for us as well. In comparison to all of the universities that I applied, this was one of the, I think, comparatively cheapest, I would say. And it was when I was comparing costs for the tuition cost as well, the cost of living, the cost of my accommodation fees, this was one of the one which was in the budget, I would say. And especially the scholarships over here and the when I researched about the university, the Newcastle itself, it really attracted me to that. I think that's one of the things that was the main point, the cost of living and the scholarship opportunities as well. But after coming here, I think for me personally, it had a lot of it had to do with my leadership qualities as well, and how I have improved as a leader throughout the course, and how team working has actually helped me. Because before coming here, even though we have experiences, um, but the quality of leader you become during the session improves a lot, and you get to learn a lot how to work with diverse teams, with uh, with good leadership qualities, and what you can do and how you can improve throughout um, the when you can go back to your career. That's one of the best experience I think I have since I began my MBA.
Thank you very much. And then moving on to Shabam, then, can you share an experience of what stood out for you so far in terms of either a module or a project or a learning experience that's really changed how you think or work as a manager and leader?
Yeah, thank you, Lucy, and good afternoon, everyone. My good name is Shubham. And coming to my MBA program at Newcastle University, my decision to, shortlist MBA is very strategic. When I look at the models and everything is very aligned with the career goals which I'm looking forward to. And on the ongoing MBA program helped me a lot considering the models I taught, like I get to, know about it's give me a broader perspective. A couple of the models which is not from my industry areas like finance and other things. So I got a lot of knowledge. And as Midat mentioned, we got an opportunity to work with my fellow peers and get to know more about entrepreneur leadership qualities, how you can work in a team, how you can manage a team. I am coming from project management background where I have to deal with a lot of stakeholders. So you get to know. During the programs, which actually how you need to work in a team, how you can run a team, and you can work on a different project. Is again a lot of, you will be working with a team, so a lot of different prospects you will get from a different people from a different culture, different background. So you will have a lot of opportunity to learn from different people. I do understand MBA is intense program, but this is a wonderful opportunity for you guys, to learn from your fellow people and to acquire those skills. So those things are noticeable for me, and those driven me a lot throughout. And yes, we are ongoing at the moment, and we are working on a couple of the projects like entrepreneurship pitch, and few more are lined up. So yeah, and talking about city is lovely. North is one of the best in the Northeast. You'll have a great time here. The weather, the football, everything is very good. I think lots of in terms of the means like pricing and everything. It's very good city to live in, as Midit covered a lot of points in terms of the affordability and everything. So all things fall into place for me to choose MBA, Newcastle University for my MBA. So everything's falling in place from the course I'm looking for, the model looking for, my affordability, city. Because I am coming from Mumbai, so it's very metropolitan city. So I wanted to be in a metropolitan city. So that was my first point. point of to decisions. Everything falls in place, and yeah, I'm loving it, and yeah, we're going through it. So yeah, it's a great time I'm having here.
Thank you very much,
Yeah.
And Kirsty, can I ask you how you would describe the cohort experience in the program, both academically and socially? So what's it been like studying Newcastle, and how did it match up to what you thought it would be?
Thank you, Lucy, for the question. I think for me, especially, I didn't have any expectations coming here. I was open to anything. So, starting from the induction, I remember we did like yoga at the beach, from getting to know our fellow cohort, and then just starting into the program, how from semester 1, semester 2, I can see a lot of changes have happened, both academically, like socially, as well as for us academically, because we have been working with people from so many different countries. Like our cohort especially has like 15, 16 nationalities. So that has been a really good experience to work with diverse team for me also, because I do have a professional experience, and I have experience working in teams earlier as well. But the main difference was to deal with people from different countries. And especially when we did Business in Action Week, we got to learn a lot. I think that has been one of the highlights for me. And considering that I participated in the shadow trustee program, and I got selected as a trustee. So that has been like an addition to what I'm doing in MBA, and acting as a shadow trustee has also helped me a lot to learn how things function, especially with Disability North, the company I'm shadow trustee for. And we are working on a couple of projects with them. So we recently had a meeting with them regarding how we can do some changes in their social media and the operations overall, and how we can help them figure out on that, especially that part. And after that also, I'm looking forward to the upcoming events. Like we recently did the entrepreneurship pitch, which was a challenge for me, because my team was a bit of it is obviously difficult to work with people who are coming from different countries. Sometimes there's this language barrier as well, but in the end we managed to like do the pitch really nicely. So the outcome was really nice, and I got to learn a lot. So I think I've definitely grown as a person and as a leader from like the overall MBA experience so far.
Thank you very much. So, Mida, one of the concerns that people sometimes have is how how difficult it's going to be to balance academic and, the fact that you're moving to a new country and you're trying to find a new job. How have you found it in terms of balancing the academic challenge, the personal support, and the career development program?
Okay, so initially, it is hard. I'm going to be very honest. Initially, in the few months when you come, because you're trying to figure everything out yourself, it is hard. But once you kind of settle down, and you kind of understand how you can do things in your free time as well, you become better in handling situations as well. But not only yourself, but there is a lot of help in the university as well. The professors are very nice. There's a well-being. There are societies over here as well. There are social well-beings as well. There are a lot of people that can help you here. There are even teams in the university that can help you budget your monthly expenses as well. So if you reach out, there's a lot of help for you as well. But yes, it is at times it gets difficult, but you need to remember that you're doing an MBA. You need to put in that effort, and you need to reach out to people as well. If you're not in a good space, you need to have that conversation with your fellow peers as well. That helps a lot, and especially because you coming from diverse backgrounds, sometimes it gets difficult. But because everyone is doing things on their own, we kind of become a family. In between, you become your family. The cohort becomes your family, and that's the biggest take that I had during this my time over here. And I've come from Pakistan, where there isn't a lot of diversity over there, but coming to UK and kind of understanding how diverse people over here are, but everyone is so kind and nice to each other. That's the best thing about Newcastle. And even if not in the university, even if you go out, you find the friendliest and kindest people that can help you anywhere anywhere you are. So that has been helpful, the people around me.
That's great to hear. And it's probably also worth saying that if you're concerned that you've been out of full-time education for some time, there's a lot of support in the university for academic skills as well. So we don't assume that you're going to remember how to write essays or reference correctly. I hope you can still hear me. I realize I've frozen, but I am still here. Oh, back again. There's formal academic support built into the program, but also the library resources are there for you to seek out. If you need a bit of extra, they can have one-to-one study support meetings with you. There's also maths support as well if numbers aren't your thing. There's an awful lot of academic skill support. So Shubham, then, tell me about the opportunities that you've had so far to work with real businesses. Is it all theory, or how much experiential and practice-based learning have you had?
When we talk about opportunities, there are a lot of career opportunities you can, opt for. When you go to career page, there are a lot of events going on, tracks going on. You register for yourself, and you can go actually visit couple of the companies and you meet the people over there. So it's a wonderful networking opportunity, and you will get an opportunity to understand what's the business in the Newcastle and what they are doing as a globalist. That is a wonderful opportunity. Second, we had a for a business and action, we had a trip to Northumbria waters. So we had an opportunity very closely to understand what's the problem going on across the Northumbria waters, and that was a challenge for us to overcome the situation currently going on. So we worked on that. Again, during the Business Action Week, we have a marketing camp challenge with iProspects, Fat-Face challenge that we had. So again, that is a wonderful opportunity. So throughout this, few more are coming up. So I will say, with these kind of opportunity, we had a couple of very important things to learn is from that we get to know the people from the industry. We need to understand the business. We get to connect with people who have the same mindset, and it's a wonderful opportunity. Other than that, university holds lots of panel from a different sectors, like finance, investment, marketing, or any other prospects, operation, supply chain. So as a student, we had the opportunity to book our slots and visit them. So people from industry who have lots of experience in that, particularly working in the UK, you get to meet them, you get to learn from them. So overall, it's a wonderful opportunity for me, and I got to know a couple of good people who have the same career which I'm looking forward to. So you get to connect with them LinkedIn. You get to when you nurture that kind of a personal with a professional relationship, they help you out to how to you can work in the UK, what should be approach like, and they will give you some brownie points on your CV, the recommendations again. So yeah, it's a wonderful opportunity overall. And yeah, working with this cohort, it's a wonderful opportunity I have. So particularly, I want to mention that my MBA is led by the female. So here, majority my cohort is a female. So I'm very much obliged with that, and we are looking forward to it. And overall, it's a great opportunity in terms of the academic, career, and networking opportunity. All three prospects. Yeah.
Great, thank you. Yeah, it's worth saying that we have a small majority of women on the program this year, which is great to see. I think it's the first time that we've had a majority of women. Yeah. Jen, what you've got your hand up. What would you like to add?
Yes, hello everyone. My name's Jen. Traditionally, I worked in the career space on the MBA. I've got a slightly broader role now, but I just thought it might be worth me jumping in. I noticed a question come in about careers, MBA level careers at the business school, and obviously within the cohort as well. It's just to point everyone's direction towards the session that's taking place tomorrow. I believe we've got Cian O'Sullivan, who's our current MBA careers specialist, who's going to be joining us, who will talk in a lot of detail about the level of careers support that's available on the programme, for the programme and after the programme as well. But just to answer the question here today, just so there's a little bit of information there for you, it's really broad. in terms of where our students tend to go off to in terms of career destination. What we normally find is that MBA students fall into one of three categories, i.e. some 1/3 of the class will ideally know exactly what they want to do and maybe are looking to return back into that industry, just at maybe a higher level or in a slightly different position within a similar industry. 1/3 of the class is very open to what their career looks like afterwards, and so therefore are looking to make a total change. So that could be a geographic change, that could be a industry change, or that could be a functional change. So we work with our students to help them do that. And then thirdly, we always have a group of students who actually don't quite know what they want to do, which is a completely valid response and a completely valid state to be in. So we work with those students to understand, where their motivation lies, where their skills lie, and how they can leverage the experience on the program. Broad industry sectors would be IT, logistics, project management, finance, consultancy, and a little bit of FMCG, so manufacturing, etc., would be the typical industry sectors that our students tend to go off into. But it is really varied. We do attract quite a few entrepreneurs as well, so quite a few students come onto the program to learn how to leverage their skills to grow their own venture as well.
Thanks, Jen. That's a great answer. So the question was the typical careers outcomes after the MBA, and which industries do most graduate enter? So Kian will be able to give you the stats at the session that Jen was advertising, but there isn't really a typical, because we have a small cohort. We rarely have more than 30 in the classroom, and everybody's individual. Everybody's looking to go into something different, maybe, because we are very broad, foundational MBA. It's not a specialist MBA. So there's a great diversity in people's career aspirations and in their outcomes. But Kian will tell you exactly where people are going from last year, for example. The next question on there, if I'll just answer the ones that are sitting in the chat, so you don't have to wait for an answer now. So for international applicants aiming for leadership scholarships, this is a question from Noshika. What kind of profile do you usually look for beyond academic? So to get one of our full fee scholarships, you have to be an offer holder. So you have to go through our standard recruitment and selection process. You'd have an interview. You would be given an offer. You may be given a partial scholarship as well as our developing talent and leadership scholarships. And then you would be invited, if you wanted to be considered for a full fee scholarship. I'm assuming, Noshika, is that the scholarships that you're referring to? I'll assume it is. You'll get given an essay topic, and you have to respond to that with a portfolio of evidence so that we know that you haven't made it up. And really, there's no right answer to that. There's no one right answer. There's lots of different right answers. But really, I'm looking for clarity. So a real clear idea about where you've come from, what you're good at, where you want to make a contribution to the world going forward, and where best you think you'll be able to do that. So if it's about women in leadership, it's about leveraging gender equality. If it's about sustainable impact, it's about sustainability. If it's about responsible impact, it's about how you're going to how you've been involved in initiatives like that in the past, and how you're going to ensure that you have a significant impact going forward in the future. So it's really differentiating that and personalizing it. So I don't want general responses that anybody could write. I want something that's really pertinent to you, that's linked to your story, something maybe that's happened in your life so far that's made a big impact on you, an experience that you've had, a manager that you've had, a job responsibility that you've had, but something really personal to you that's made a difference, that you want to take forward. So it's clarity, and it's uniqueness, I guess, I'm looking for. Nothing general, nothing that you could get from the internet, nothing that you could get from ChatGPT, something particular to you. That's what I'm looking for, the something special, something extra. The next question is, how long is the Business in Action module? So it's it spanned over 3 weeks. I think this year we did it 2 weeks before Christmas, not solid weeks, a few days, sessions leading up to Christmas, and then a solid week after Christmas where it was pretty solid out and about, wasn't it? I think, and then the assessments a little bit after that, a group presentation, and then an individual reflection project. So what are the challenges and problems solved? Kirsty, do you want to answer that question? What were the challenges and problems that you had to solve in Business in Action? Memory test for you.
Yes, so we had a couple of challenges for Business in Action. I think the number one highlight for me was the Northumbrian water case competition that we did, and Midith was in my group as well, so she can vouch for it that we had a really great team for Northumbrian waters. But just visiting the site in person and learning more about the water industry was something new. Like, all of us never experienced this before, so that was something new. And then when we get to think about the solution that we can come up for the case competition and how to present it in a professional manner, like it was really like a consultancy project, I would say. So that was something that was the highlight. And for me personally, because I come from a bit of marketing background, and to also win the marketing challenge we did for Fat Face was another highlight for me in Business in Action.
So there's a big range of projects, but that's not the only place where you get access to live consultancy projects. So you were doing a live consultancy projects with the digital transformation module with WordNers, and I think that in your local consultancy projects on Thursday, you're going to meet 14 different companies that have got projects that you might be selected for to complete an individual consultancy project on. Were there any other live projects? There's one coming up in business analysis for decision making. Any more? That's pretty good. And then Ali Raza has just highlighted the fact that the module for operations management is disabled, so we'll check out that. Thank you for highlighting it. And you'd like some more insights. So this is a new module on the MBA. In terms of what it covers, it's looking at an operations and supply chain as a fundamental organizational function, obviously, that looks over the transformation of inputs into outputs. And it's looking at robust, well-designed operational systems, how that's linked to the global strategy of the organization across the supply chain, looking at effective supply chain management, and how that links with sustainability, agility in response to changes in the external environment, leveraging digital technologies to enhance supply chain, looking at data analytics to do that as well. And that's about as much as I can tell you because it's not my module, so I'm just reading the description. But do let us know if you'd like more information on that particular module, and I can put you in touch with the module leader. So I think we've covered all the questions that are sitting in the chat. So I'll move back to my questions. I think it was Kirsty's turn to answer the next question. So Kirsty, it might be a bit early to say this, but has the MBA impacted on how you understand artificial intelligence and digital transformation, other technological advances, and how's it impacted on your understanding so far?
Yeah, so regarding artificial intelligence now, we all know that it's like the growing sector, right? So when we were in the MBA, we have digital transformation, which was a module that we all did. It was a compulsory module for us in that. And other than that, also in other modules, we got to know a lot about AI and how we can ethically use it and how we can make use of it to like grow in other areas as well. And we have some really brilliant students on this cohort who have been really good with AI and how to work around it in terms of the presentations and otherwise. So I think we all have sort of learned that aspect of business as well.
It's such a fast moving field, isn't it? So for us to stand up as experts and say this is how to use AI, digital transformation, would be crazy, because the moment we wrote a program, it would be out of date. So we try and keep up to date with what's happening in the industry. We have the National Innovation Centre for Data as part of Newcastle University. So we're very well connected to the people that are at the forefront of the field. But by sharing your expertise within the cohort, you can develop each other's expertise. And by linking up with industry, you can make sure that you're current as well as integrating the academic insights that you get from the programme. We've got some more questions. So Sakate, is that your first name? Sorry if it isn't. In terms of data analytics, will there be a chance to study more in deep technical perspective, like utilizing programming, solving real world business challenges? Well, I have to emphasize that this is a generalist MBA program. So it's not it won't give you specialist expertise in any particular area, but you will look you will be looking at digital integration across a number of different modules. I think in digital marketing module, you do look into digital analytics from a marketing perspective. And also in your individual project module, there may well be an opportunity to take a deep dive into that if there was a specific project in that area, but we don't have a module that specializes in data analytics. Shubham, have you got a comment on that, or is it on something else?
Oh, yes, to add on that, related to technical perspective, university runs a couple of the Microsoft programs like Excel, Power BI and everything. Those, particularly from Excel, PowerPoint and everything, you can do a training with the university and you can apply for a professional certificate, which are absolutely free. University pays for that, and you'll get a professional certificate from that. Other than that, there is a Power BI Tableau, or you'll get a proper, learning for that. You can just opt for that, which are very, very helpful nowadays when we talk about the data and segregation of the data and analyzing the data. These are very, very important tools, and you will get that support from the university. So that is one of the point. It's very, very important here in terms of the data part.
Yeah, I think Jen.
Yeah, just to add as well, we also have a Bloomberg suite based within the business school that we provide trading and also the opportunity to take part in the Bloomberg annual competition, where our teams for the last 3 years or so have all ranked really highly globally and in the UK. So Bloomberg, for anyone that hasn't heard of that before, it's basically a trading tool. So we provide training for you to learn how to trade, basically. And we have a dedicated Bloomberg suite within the school for you to do that. You get the opportunity to learn for yourself, but also work as part of a team to have a sort of like wider recognition from Bloomberg themselves.
Thanks, Jen. And it's worth saying that we really do encourage you to look beyond the program. So the modules are the place that you start, obviously, but around the edges, you have the opportunity to network across the university and to engage with multiple industry experts as well to pursue your own specialist interest. So it's very important that you do take the initiative to pursue your own specialist interest. And that's what I'm talking about in terms of clarity. So we'll help you clarify that, but you really do need to be proactive and take the initiative to take advantage of all the opportunities that are available here. And there's an awful lot of opportunities. It's a big university, it's a big business school, and there's a lot going on in the region. So there's a lot of business networking opportunities and a lot of other opportunities, like Shubham said, online to develop your own expertise in the areas that are of particular interest to you. So I hope, Taiwan, that answers your question. And Ali Raza is asking, what's the majority of students required for the kickoff of an elective? At the moment, we require at least 5 students to sign up for an elective to run it. So it's not very many because we're a small cohort and we need to offer a choice. So you could be in quite a exclusive group to study an elective, and that's the way it works at Newcastle University Business School at the moment. Okay. Brilliant. So back to my questions then. Mila, I think it's your turn. So can you tell me how the program so far has deepened your understanding of responsible leadership, sustainability, and the challenges in business facing the balance and the trade-offs between being a competitive business, making a profit, and looking after the environment and having a good social impact?
So the program actually helped me understand that a responsible leader is not just the one who makes the business decisions, but also actually considers people and the environment. That was the core learning that we had throughout the MBA program, especially in the module for the CSR, which is corporate social responsibility. We get to learn that there are more to the business decision than just making the profit, and actually thinking about sustainability and net zero impact and the sustainable goals in the businesses that you're gonna do, or you'll be working in those businesses, and actually get to learn about the pressures of different stakeholders throughout, not just the stakeholders that you are in contact with, but there are other stakeholders that affect your business, and then you learn it throughout, not in only just in one module, the corporate social one, but there are different modules that you get to learn that there are external factors where you need to look at those external factors and able to become the best responsible leadership, not just for your own business, but for the world as well and the future as well. So that I think it's really good to learn about it, because you become a good leadership for your own business, particularly for me, because I want to set up my own business once I go back. But it's not just for the business. For me, it would be a good impact for my country as well once I go back. So it's a very good learning in that perspective.
Thank you. I think one of the key changes that I see in students is that they come with at least 3 years relevant managed experience, but it's usually quite transactional, and it's very very specific to a part of the business that they've been working in. And then they come on the MBA and they see a bigger picture and appreciate that often it's the people that make the difference in a business. So you move from thinking, oh yes, it's the IT systems, or it's the machines that we have, or it's the facilities that we can offer, or whatever it is, the website that we've got. But in fact, it's often about how to get the most out of the people in your business, how to interact, how to influence people in your team, how to motivate people, and how to release the strengths that other people have. And also, the bigger impact of the business. So not just about creating economic value, but creating all sorts of other value and not destroying value in the process. So Ali, Raza, would you be prepared to put your camera on and ask me, tell me a little bit more about what's behind your question? So you've asked, what are the strategy concepts covered, and case studies, insights on risk management and critical thinking concepts, and cohort diversity and experience. What do you mean by the first two? What are you looking for me to tell you about?
Lizzie, should I take the first question?
Yes, please.
So when we talk about a strategy concept cover, we have a module called strategy management. I think Professor Tom, I think other than Keerthi will agree with me, Professor Tom have covered wonderfully the strategy, strategy concept, whatever they are involved, like Porter, Pestle, external, internal analysis you can do. And by far one of the best case studies we came across, not just across the globe. So you'll have a lot of opportunity to go through the strategies and concepts and the case study. I think every year he introduced new case studies, so a lot of opportunity for you to cover the concept, and also you'll study the collaboration studies domestically, internationally, how you can collaborate with the multinational companies. Those things are also covered by Professor Mayank. So yeah, wonderful opportunity for that. So
thanks,
I think
Shubham.
Professor Tom is amazing, I think.
Yeah, thanks. Sorry, Ali, you were about to say something. Yeah, what would you like to say? Ali, are you speaking? I can see you've got your hand up, but I can't hear you. Okay, so maybe there's a problem with your microphone. Do you want to try again? No, we can't see you, so we're going to have to try and interpret what you've written, but hopefully that answered the first part of your question. So insights on risk management and critical thinking concepts. So again, I think that would be covered all the way through the program, but particularly on the strategic management module. Risk management is inherent in any management leadership position. You always have to think about what might go wrong and how you're going to mitigate for that. And critical thinking is a skill that we try and integrate throughout all the program. It's a basic academic skill. So in all your written assignments, we'll be looking for you to justify your arguments, to explain why you think what you think, what the alternative perspective is and why you don't think that, and back up your arguments with literature and evidence. So that's part of the academic skills development, but it's also integrated into particular content and areas into critiquing alternative perspectives. This is one way of doing it, this is another way of doing it. There's no one right way for anything. You'll find that's often what's maybe a little bit frustrating for the people from a science background or people who come from a very objective subject where there is a right answer and there's only one answer, is to come into the areas of management and leadership and have to cope with all this ambiguity and uncertainty and subjectivity and realize that, it just depends. It always just depends on the situation. And you have to learn how to use your critical thinking and make judgments and experiment and learn from your experiences, and be open-minded. And then your the final part of your question, I guess, is the most straightforward answer. So the cohort diversity, you've heard from the current students that I think we've got 12 nationalities on the program this year and a cohort of 25. So you can see, we've got one from, I think, 11 different countries. We've got a number of people from the Indian subcontinent and a number of people from Thailand. I think those are sort of top two nationalities, that are represented, and then one from a lot of other countries. And typically we do have a very good cohort diversity. Mariam and Jen do a fantastic job of curating our cohort so to maximize diversity, because it's part of our AMBER accreditation requirements, as well as just really good for learning and really good for teaching. All the academic faculty love teaching the MBA cohort because, you've got the world in a classroom and, all sorts of different perspectives. Years of experience. Again, I think the average experience is 7 years, I think, in the cohort this year. Again, for our AMBER accreditation, everybody has to have at least 3 years relevant experience to get on the program. And as a cohort, we have to have an average of at least 5 years. So you'll be with a group of people that are mature, that have seen a bit of life, have had some real autonomy and strategic responsibility in their businesses, in a lot of different industries, in different countries, in different management functions. So it's a huge opportunity to network. I think we added up all the experience that we had in the room. It was something like 150 years altogether of experience if you add up all the experiences in the MBA classroom, which is just such a wonderful opportunity to really make a big difference in the world and make a huge contribution in your own particular sphere. Ali, can you just, I'm currently holding a conditional offer for the MBA program, working towards receiving a conditional. Brilliant. Okay. Yes, I'm sorry you're having a technical issue, but thank you very much for your engagement and persistence with the chat. I'm sorry we can't speak to you directly, but I hope that answers your questions. We look forward to seeing you in September. So do please keep asking questions as we go on. I think, where am I up to? Is it, I've forgotten who, is it Midat's turn? Is it your turn next? Or is it Shubham?
It was Shubham's turn.
It's Shubham's turn, right, Albert. Shubham answered the question about the strategy. But anyway, okay, so Shubham, I'm going to ask you this question, which is relevant to what we were talking about. So in terms, oh, he's just gone. Was it something I said? Do you think that was an accident? Kirsty, then, can I ask you this? How has studying on the MBA helped you think about leading people and organizations in today's world? So the amount of change that there is, amount of complexities there is, remote hybrid working, using AI agents. Shabam, you're back. So I'll go back to Shabam and I'll ask you this question. How do you think the MBA so far and in the remainder of the program is going to make you think differently about being a leader, leading people and leading organizations in this really rapidly changing operational environment, changing work practices, the technological developments, artificial intelligence, political unrest? How's it altering your perspective on leadership?
So I'll just give you a brief about. So when I come from a background where I was mainly handling a team and working on the projects and everything, so my perspective was very limited in terms of the industry I'm working and everything. Where I come here, I got a very broad prospects from the knowledge I receive and how, when you're working in an organization, it's just not only about you're doing your work. It's about the people works for you. So when you work through a sustainability module, something and everything, you'll get to know about what are the development you can look after, about not just making a profit and how you can run your organization. So that is one of the information on knowledge I got. So when you talk about AI, definitely a lot of the companies and have worked that AIs will be covering all of the things and everything. But when I talk to the people from the industry who are actually, they are using AI to learn and make it a model to get a knowledge, just not to completely utilize it, right? So they are not like a totally dependent on it. Yes, it's an advantage, but it's not a totally advantage. You need a manpower to run an AI, because that is something concept I've designed from the human itself. So definitely human touch you need. For example, when I work with a stakeholder, project management, deal with a stakeholder, none of the AI can teach you how you can deal with your stakeholders. So that human interaction is very much needed when you work and when you work in the industry. So overall my perspective has been changed a lot, and I think like as a student, you'll have a lot of opportunities, other than the coursework, other than the academic things. When you're working with your groups, when you're meeting with the professional people out of the industry, it's a lot of prospects you'll get, and you will think that this is not the niche. It is a lot of broad prospects I've learned. So overall, for me, is a very much value addition in terms of the not a one directional approach. It's a multi-directional approach you will get, and this is a very helpful for you when somebody who wants to be a leader in the future, want to open your own venture or some things. You'll have a lot of opportunity to learn from the people who have the right set of knowledge. So yeah, overall, it's a wonderful opportunity.
Thank you. So I'm aware that we're coming up to the hour and people will probably need to leave. So if I can just invite you, if you can stay on the call to put any final questions you've got in the chat. And then I'm going to, Shubham, did you want to add something?
Yeah. If anyone need to connect with me, I'll put my LinkedIn.
Oh, that's fabulous. Thank you. Yeah. If you would like to connect with Shubham, he's going to put his LinkedIn contact in the chat. If you have any final questions, do put them in the chat, and if you can stay on the call, we will answer them. But I just ask the students that are on the call at the moment, just to answer very briefly, my final question is, what would be your advice to somebody who is considering applying for the Newcastle MBA? Is it worth it or not? Midad.
I think for me, if I would give one advice, it would be to take the chance. You improve yourself, not just professionally, but personally as well. So take the chance, just take it and run with it. Do the best thing you can with it and be the best version through this. That's one piece of advice.
Thank you. And Kirti, how can you recommend people get the most out of the opportunity? What would you tell people?
From my personal experience, I think it is definitely worth it if you are like coming from a perspective of opening yourself up to a lot of opportunities, because that's what this MBA offers you, and you have to proactively apply to all these. Like, I would say, to make the most out of the shadow trustee and the other opportunities that the university is offering, the business in action module, management consultancy, and then we have ESAM coming up as well. So just making sure that you get the best out of the opportunities that are offered to you, and post MBA, I think you will definitely see a good amount of change in yourself, both personally and professionally. So I think it's definitely worth it.
And Shaban, what's the one thing you wish somebody had told you before you started on the MBA?
I think those people who want to join an MBA, that means they have a right set of skills. So back your skills. And when pursuing an MBA, you'll definitely have, the support from the people to, polish your skills and come with an open mindset, right? What you want to do, definitely there'll be certain ideas and place you'll be having. Just come with an open perspective. You'll have a lot of opportunity to gain that perspective from the people and from the things. So come with open perspective, back your skills, and it's a 1 year. I was thinking like 1 year will be great learning opportunity. It's a great time, learning, fun. Newcastle is the best city. So all in all, it's a great package you'll get. So good to go.
Thank you. So that's all about all we wanted to say. Mariam, Jen, have you got anything final to add?
No, I guess I'm okay. Please join us tomorrow for the live session. I'm going to send reminders tomorrow as well. It would be great to see you there. Thank you.
Same goes for me, just what Mariam said.
Thank you. Well, thank you ever so much to Medhat, Shaban, Kirti for your time today. Really appreciate it. It makes so much difference to have first-hand experience on the call. I really appreciate you spending time to do that today. Thank you very much. Thank you to Mariam and Jen. And thank you to all the participants that attended today. I hope we answered your questions. If you have got any more questions or want to know anything about the programme, want to talk more to current students, want to talk to Kian, our careers consultant, or me, if you've got any questions, concerns about coming or the course itself, then please don't hesitate to reach out. mba@ncl.ac.uk for all your questions. And we hope you apply if you haven't already. If you have applied, we hope you're getting excited, and we'll look forward to seeing you in September. Thank you.